Okay, I left the bench back there about a quarter mile, and this used to be quite a mud hole. And I can remember when I was a teenager, a friend came up here late at night with two of his friends that lived in his neighborhood, and they brought a whole old Plymouth car, an old 60s Plymouth car up here. And they made it all the way up here, and then they got a little bit farther and they got stuck. But they'd also gotten stuck in here because we came up later the next day after he told us about it and saw all the evidence, and they had had a terrible time getting out of here, but they got the car stuck up here and ultimately had to hire a wrecker to come up here and get that old 60s Plymouth car, which probably cost more for them to haul it out of here than the whole thing was even worth. And yeah, crazy. I never did anything quite that stupid. Well, I've done some stupid things, and we'll leave it at that. But I know a little bit farther on, there was actually a cabin up here that existed until probably about 1980, and then they finally tore it out. And this seemed to be kind of a big area where they had structures or something in the early 1900s, and there used to be a fence. I'm not sure how far I gotta go to get to it, but there used to be a wire fence, and there used to be evidence of it up here. All right, moving right along. This is a very nice road. This is actually a road, and it's maintained pretty well, so I'm not having any trouble walking on it at all. But I'm trying to find where that old wire fence was at. I think I'm just about to where that was at, but I'm not seeing the evidence of it. Oh yeah, okay. All right, now we got some. Let's get a little bit farther here. I see a fence post. I see a fence post right there. Right there. And at first I didn't see the actual fence. But now you can see the wire fence. It's an old wire fence. I don't ever remember there being a gate. But it must continue on up that way. And I think there's evidence of it continuing on up that way, but you can see there's a little bit of the wire fence. You can kind of track it on down there. That's Manzanita there. So at some point somebody had cows up here or something. Maybe there was a corral for horses or something. I don't know. So moving on, we're coming up to the area where they actually changed this road, and now we're about to see where the original road went to, and they changed it because of washout problems. And this is going to be it right here. The original road came here, and then it turned, and it went straight down there, and you can see how they have attempted to block that all off now. And it went down there, and you can see it. You can clearly see the road right there. And that's where those stupid idiots took that old Plymouth car down here, and then they got it stuck past, can't see past that because of that bush, but they got it stuck down there. And there was a cabin over here, which may have been gone by that time, but the tow truck had to come all the way up here and haul them back out of there. Boy, that must have been expensive. Back that way, we now go up here. The trail will go up here. And this was not a well-defined trail, but it'll take us to the overlook, and that's where we're going to go next. But the new trail is going this way right here. And it will go here so far. I discovered this last year when I came up here. I discovered that they had made this new trail here, and it will come down here, and then it'll loop back in where the cabin used to be. Okay, I've walked just a little bit past where I was going to go because some people came up behind me and they went up that way, so I'll give them a chance. But that's the way we're going to go. And as we get up here, the trees actually change now. You can see this is oak here with just a little bit of laurel in it. Very little laurel, but we definitely got some manzanita, but mostly it's all oak over here. And they're not big trees. So these trees were, this was all just leveled at some point. There was just no trees here at all back in the, whenever they were working up here in the late 1800s and so forth. And the laurel just didn't really come back very well. But the oak sure did. Lots and lots of oak compared to the way it was back there. All right, here we go. Now we're going to go up this. It's going to be a fairly steep trail. Like I said, this was just a cow path of a little trail that you could take up to the overlook. And I know that along this way, we're going to find little gold mining sites. Sites that had been mined. Like, oh, steep. This right here, this was somebody's dig, and we're going to find numerous ones of these around here. You can see the quartz there. That's what they're looking for. So they probably found some color in there, I would imagine. I love gold mining history, and there's a lot of it here. I don't know if we're gonna go see the Chinese diggings today, or if I'm going to proceed up farther tomorrow. Since I feel good and I brought some lunch with me and I'm getting hungry, I think we'll go check out the gulch area, the main mining area, the diggings, the Chinese diggings as they were called. And that's where they did a lot of hydraulic mining. So we'll see about that once I get up here, eat my lunch, and see how my arthritis feels. And here we have another little digging area right there. And we can see one running off that way too, where they found quartz and just decided to start digging. And I'm not seeing any more houses. So back down that way is where all those houses were at. All right, right on the other side of that little hill there should be the overlook. In fact, it should be right up on top. The trail's going to go this way, and hopefully we won't run into any more houses. And I spoke too soon, I guess. Big old house there. House down right over there. One right there. Those two might be part of the same one. Yep, never ever ever here before. Get one last good sized hill to climb, and then we'll be up on the overlook directly behind me. And it's going to be a fairly steep walk for me, but I am feeling good. I am really feeling very, very good today. Well, I made it up that. I am just a little bit winded. Sure, it's so beautiful up here. I'm so glad that I am able to, at my age, to even do this. So many people can't do it. And as we now look at the overlook over there, we start noticing a lot more laurel wood. Quite a bit of manzanita, and still got a lot of oak. Now all of a sudden the laurel is coming back, and we got one gigantic laurel tree here at the top of the overlook. A little bit more mining evidence right around the top here, and a fence. There was a fence that ran directly that way, and apparently this way too. I don't remember, but I think it probably did. And now we're to the overlook. And we got this great big tree here. So I believe what this was originally was where they had a structure up here. And I don't know exactly what it was, but they had some sort of a structure up here, office or whatever, in the main mining area. And oh, look at that big old house over there. Doggone it. That was there before, I know. A lot of people have carved their names into this tree, that's for sure. But this area apparently had been where they had some sort of office or shed or something up here on top, and the main mining area is going to be long down in that valley there, and that's where they did the hydraulic mining. And this is where the road, maybe get on another road here. Oh, those houses stuck on it. But this is going to be a road, and we'll take a look at that as we go that way. There used to be a motorcycle trail right there that went all the way down. Big, long, tall hill climb, which is impassable now. And the view isn't very much because of all the brush and so forth. And there was a trail that went down that way, all the way down. All right, I'm gonna plop down here on this bench or that bench over there and enjoy some lunch and a little bit of rest.